Hi guys, welcome back to Sihle's channel. I'm Liya. I'm a graduate of the Oprah and Free Leadership Academy for Girls, and I'm a first-year medicine student at the University of Pretoria. My journey into medicine is quite an unconventional one. I did not get in straight after matric, and I did not transfer from a BSc. To be honest, I have no idea how I'm studying medicine right now. It's kind of crazy, but that's what we're going to talk about today. So I never wanted to become a doctor. Throughout primary and high school, medicine was the last thing on my mind, or anything in the health sciences for that matter. I was just not interested. I wanted to be in IT, I wanted to be a video game designer, programmer, all of that. So obviously, I picked my subjects according to what I thought I wanted to do. So I took IT, I took art, and I took physics, just because in my school at the time it was compulsory to take a science in grade 10. So I took physics. It was fun. I tried to drop physics so much throughout the years, I was doing well in all my other subjects. I was an A student, but not the type of A student that would get a 99% in science and 100% in maths. No. I had 80%, low 90s. I was really good at languages and art, but not maths and physics. I really struggled with maths and physics. So throughout high school, I kept trying to drop physics, and for some reason, it just never worked out. It would get so close, I'd be like, okay, bye, I'm leaving to business, and then for some reason I just never left. And looking back at it now, it's crazy, because if I left, I wouldn't be where I am right now, So yeah, those are my subjects and those are my marks. So in grade 11, I had an average of about 80%. I had 6 distinctions, all of them except physics, obviously. And so I was obviously going to apply for computer science, because that's what I wanted to do, or what I thought I wanted to do at the time. And then I was really happy with my marks. I felt like I did really well. I didn't even expect a distinction in maths, so I was over the moon. I thought I had achieved so much, and I thought I could be a doctor with those marks. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply for medicine. I have the marks to do so, not realizing that I'd be competing with kids who have those 99% in maths and physics. So I don't know who I thought I was, but I decided to apply for medicine. It still wasn't I wasn't sure whether that was what I wanted to do. It was if I get in, okay, I'll do it. If I don't, it's fine. It's not what I want to do anyway. So I applied. Obviously I didn't have the right subjects, and so when you apply to WITS, UP, UCT, and I'm not sure about NMU because they just opened up their medical school and I don't know their requirements, but when you apply to those 3 schools, you don't need to have life science. It's not a requirement, but I don't know, I just feel obviously they're gonna rather take someone with life science over someone with art. It's just my opinion. That's what I think they think. But yeah, so I feel I didn't have the right subjects. My marks weren't competitive enough, and I didn't take the NBTs seriously. At that time, NBTs were still considered. I know because of COVID they're not considering them anymore, but at that time we still had to write the NBTs, and I did well in the English literacy component, but the maths, I got a 50. I really did not take it seriously enough. I didn't prepare enough. I underestimated how important they would be, and unfortunately that was my downfall. And also I don't think you need this anymore, but at that time you needed a portfolio where you say okay, these are the sports I did, these were my leadership positions, my cultural activities, community service, and other stuff that you did, just to show that you're not just good at academics, you're a well-rounded person. And when you've been focused on getting into medicine since primary or since the beginning of high school, you have years to fill up this portfolio and make sure you're doing sports, make sure you're in a leadership role by the time you get to matric. And unfortunately I didn't have much to add to that portfolio, so that was my other downfall. in general, my application was just not competitive enough, and I think I knew that when I submitted, but for some reason I had my hopes up and I was like, okay, I might just, you know, get into medicine. And obviously I didn't. it was shocking how upset I was, because I never thought I really wanted to do it, you know. I was surprised at how much it affected me. I got like the rejection letter from UP while I was in class, and I left class and I just started crying. Oh my god. And at that time, like, it was break and people were walking around and I was just crying during the people. It was I not embarrassed? But yeah, so I decided that, okay, I'm gonna go with plan A, because medicine was my plan B. I'm gonna go with plan A and I'm gonna study computer science. And then one of my roommates asked me, like, Leah, you're gonna be studying IT the entire day? Because every time I wrote IT, like before a test, before an exam, I would just be a big ball of stress. And she said to me, like, you're gonna be studying IT the whole day, every day for 3-4 years. Is that really what you want? And I realized that it's not what I want. I need something more. I was very creative in high school, so I wanted something that would like encourage my creativity. So I decided that instead of computer science, I am going to study multimedia at UP. So multimedia is basically a mix of digital art and computer science. You do all the computer science modules, the coding, the how a computer works, all of that, but you also do like design, you learn Photoshop, how to do animation, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. It just wasn't for me. When lockdown hit and I went home, I would sit in front of a computer every day, wake up, sit at my laptop, go to bed, and I realized that that was going to be my life if I continued with my course and went into working in IT. Every day would just be wake up, sit at a laptop, go to sleep, and it just wasn't for me. I was in a very, very dark space at the time because I was so unhappy with what I was doing and I didn't know what to do. Wake up, sit at a laptop, go to sleep, and it just wasn't for me. I was in a very, very dark space at the time because I was so unhappy with what I was doing and I didn't know what to do moving forward. But I managed to do really well in the first semester. I got all distinctions in all my modules. And then the second semester, I struggled so much because I was so demotivated. I knew that this is not what I want to do. I'm changing next year. I don't know to what, but I'm changing. So I don't need to like really put my all into this course. So I stopped. I started failing like 3 modules. And at the time, a friend of mine had just gotten into medicine through mid-year transfer, and I was so inspired. Like, it sounds so cringy and so I was inspired, but I really was. It was like, wow, she did that. She didn't give up on like what she really wanted. She went for it and she got it, you know. And I was like, why can't I do that? So prior to like her getting into medicine, I had completely given up because I was like, I'm studying IT. Why, even if I applied, why would they look at my application when there's so many people applying from like a BSc or, you know? But I decided to apply anyway, and I only applied at UP. So because I was a student at UP, I wouldn't have to pay any application fees. It was just submit your application, and it's not even a full application. You just say like, okay, this is the course I want to transfer to, submit. So that's what I did, and I pushed it to the back of my mind. I didn't tell anybody because I couldn't bear to like tell people and then tell them I was rejected again. So I just decided not to tell anyone. This was in like July, and I continued like not really caring about school. I would submit assignments but not put my all into them, and it was showing in my marks. It was very bad. And then I got my conditional acceptance, and with conditional acceptance you have to pass all your modules and maintain the average that you applied with. So I applied with my first semester university marks. So you can imagine I had a pretty good average, and considering the fact that I was failing so many modules, it was not looking good for me at the time. So I told everyone, I was like, oh, by the way, I got into medicine, but I'm probably not going to get conditional final acceptance because I am failing school. But I have a very supportive group of friends, and I'm very grateful to them. They pushed me. They made sure I was not going out as much as I did before. I was doing my work, and somehow I managed to pass all of those modules. By the end of the year, I had 9 out of 11 distinctions, and I missed one distinction by like 2%. I don't know how. I have no idea how I managed to like pick my marks up, but I did. I think I was just motivated by the fact that, whoa, you got into medicine, that's mad. So yeah, I managed to get my final acceptance, and so that's how I got into medicine. And the crazy part is that when I was rejected, I had no idea that you could still like transfer from another course. And even when I had told people, they were like, wait, but you were studying IT, like you were studying multimedia, how did you even get into medicine, you know? And I just think it's crazy that this isn't common knowledge, that you can transfer from another course to medicine or to engineering or to whatever you want to transfer to. You don't have to be studying a BSc to transfer to medicine, and I think it's so important that people know this. I actually have a friend who transferred from BA General to medicine, and my point is, don't give up. I gave up, and if that hadn't happened to my friend, if my friend hadn't gotten into medicine and I didn't feel like, whoa, she did it, you can do this, I wouldn't have even applied. I wouldn't be where I am. I'd probably be unhappy still studying IT, you know? So my advice to matrics trying to get into medicine, especially now that they're not considering NBTs and portfolios because of COVID, your marks are all you have to show. And like I said, you're competing with these people who have 90% in maths and physics. Their averages are like 95%. And I know when you have like an 80% average or a high 70 average, it's very tempting to think like, I have marks beyond the minimum requirements, like I'm good, I meet the requirements for medicine. But don't ever stop pushing yourself. Don't settle. Always aim for better. And the thing about matric is you have 3 chances to get those distinctions. And when I was in matric, I really took June exams and prelims for granted. I didn't do as well as I wanted to. I was aiming for 6 distinctions and I only got 5. I didn't get my maths and physics distinctions. So I'm still, like 2 years later, I'm still so disappointed in myself because I know I could have pushed myself, worked harder in those June exams and prelims. So my advice would be to treat June exams and prelims like final exams. And if you do so, in your June exams, you can kind of see where you're going to be at in finals. So aim for what you want in finals in your June exams and prelims. And if you do that, and if you manage to meet your goal, you know that, okay, I have this content down, like, and then you get to your final exams and all you're doing is revision, all you're doing is past papers. And never underestimate the power of past papers. You can study all of the textbooks in the world, but if you haven't done past papers, whether it's IEB or DBE, you are going into that exam room and you're not going to know what type of questions to expect, how to answer those questions. And the thing is, they often repeat questions from previous years. Obviously they'll change values or scenarios and things, but questions are often repeated. So take advantage of past papers, do all of the past papers that you can find, and take advantage of your June exams and prelims. Treat them like your finals, so that when it gets to finals, you know your content, you're just revising. My advice to people in university trying to get into medicine, the way that the medicine selection works at UP, I'm not sure about other universities, but at UP what they do is they allocate 90 spaces to people who have university experience and 90 spaces to people who don't. And obviously there are spaces for like other people, you know, but yeah. And then there are 60 spaces for people of any race, and there are 30 spaces for people who don't meet that top 60 but are black or colored. So that's the way like the quota works and selection basically. And obviously before, like, they'd rank you based on your marks, your NBTs, your portfolio, stuff like that, but now it's just based on marks. And in university, what happens is they convert your marks to points, and if you have like an honors degree or masters, then they add extra points and then they rank you based on those points. So you have to be consistent in your work ethic. You have to make sure. So my marks when I applied, I had all distinctions and an average of 80%, but that's not to say that you have to have all distinctions and an average of 80%. I think it was 82 or something. Like, my advice to university students trying to get into medicine is to work consistently. I know that we take those little assignments that count for like 2.5% and stuff for granted. We're like, it doesn't count for much, let me not submit, or let me not put in an effort. That 2.5% boosts your overall average, and that is the average that they're looking for when they rank you and give you conditional acceptance. And those are the marks that they use to give you points to rank you, because at UP they rank you based on a point system, which is based on your marks. And I know we also take those modules, like at UP we have AIM, and I know every course has those modules that are just like, oh my god, why am I doing this? This is so easy. Like if you're in the EBIT faculty at UP, ALL, it seems so useless, but those are the modules that really help you boost your average, and we take advantage of it. We're like, there's no need to put an effort in this, I'm gonna pass anyway. And when you could be getting a 90, you're getting like a 60. I say take advantage of every opportunity you have to get marks, because those are the marks that are going to get you points and get you ranked in the top however many they're looking for to give conditional acceptance to. And I also want to say to people in university who still want to get into medicine, regardless of the course you're in currently, like I said, I have a friend who transferred from BA General to medicine. Don't give up on your dreams. It may take a few years for them to accept you. You may apply every year and they'll only accept you with the 5th application. But I say don't give up. If it's what you really want to do, don't settle for a job that you're not going to be happy in. Even if you start working and you still want to apply for medicine after that, I say go for it. And I know for people who aren't in like BSc or in health sciences trying to apply for medicine, it may have felt like the end of the road when you went into a different faculty or a different career field. It's really not. And I wish that more people knew this, because it's like so many people just give up now because they think that I'm not studying anything health science related, so I'm not gonna get in, let me not apply. You never know. And also bear in mind that you can apply to different universities for medicine, because different universities have different quota systems. So you may not get in to UP because of their quota system, but you could get into like BIS because they have a different one. You never know. So yeah, that's my story, that's my journey, and I hope that whether you're in matric or in varsity trying to get into medicine, you learned something and you're motivated to apply if you thought that it was the end of the road. I want to say thank you to Sihle for inviting me to speak to you guys today. Yeah, bye guys.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video, and don't forget to follow me on social media at Sihle_medic.